bracha from Yerushalayim.
We'd love to share whatever we have with as many people as we can.
We are a family of 14 kids, and we have 150 guests each week. And I hope you should have a good week this week.
There's another chair over here.
We are privileged this evening to study a section of Parashat Terumah. I'd like to focus on one of the verses in our parasha where we read about the construction of the Holy Ark. Ve'asu Aron atzei shitim, amatayim v'chetzi orko, ve'ama v'chetzi rohbo, ve'ama v'chetzi komato. And they shall construct an ark of special wood, of shittim wood. 2.5 cubits shall be its length. 1.5 cubits shall be its width. And 1.5 cubits shall be its height. Please notice that the Aron HaKodesh, the Ark of Holiness, the only one of the vessels to be in the Holy of Holies, in the Kodesh Kodeshim, and the only vessel to contain the very tablets of God, is the only vessel in the sanctuary, listed in the Torah section of this week, where all of its measurements are 1/2 cubit measurements. 2.5 by 1.5 by 1.5. Why no full measurements? The commentary Bala Turim writes, Kol midotav hayu shvurot b'hatza'ei hamot l'lamed shekol mi shelomed Torah tzarich l'shaber ul'hashpil atzmo. Says the Bala Turim, all of its measurements are broken into half measurements, half cubits. This teaches that anyone who studies the Torah, the ark is a symbol of Torah. The ark, the Aron, is the symbol of the tablets of Torah. A person who studies Torah must break and humble themselves. A person who thinks of himself or of herself as complete has not yet internalized the message of the Aron. We all lack some level of understanding, and we all lack some level of perfection. Kohelet reminds us, in Ecclesiastes we study, Ki Adam ein tzadik ba'aretz asher ya'aseh tov v'lo yeheta. There's no person on earth, there's no righteous person on earth who only does good and never sins. We are charged with the measurements of the ark to recognize our half measurements. Even the most learned sages are surprisingly referred to in our tradition as Talmidei Chachamim. Very unusual term, Talmidei Chachamim. Students of scholars? Students of the students? The Talmid Chacham, about whom we are speaking, this Torah sage, already may have thousands of his own students. He's a Talmid Chacham. He's a wise student, or a student of the wise. Absolutely. 2.5 by 1.5 by 1.5. That's the secret of the Ark of God. No matter how much Torah you've studied, have you really mastered it? Only by listening and studying together with others will you be able to achieve a full measurement. One of my great teachers would often point out to us that in all traditional printings of the Babylonian Talmud, the first page is numbered Daf Bet. our beloved Rav would lovingly smile to us when we thought that we successfully completed the tractate of Talmud. He said, "Oh, really? So tell me, what does it say on page Aleph?" And none of us could answer that question. You don't even know page Aleph, and you think that you've completed the mastery of that tractate. The Kli Yakar then goes on to explain that humility is one of the most basic of criteria in acquiring Torah. The Torah teaches in the book of Devarim, in Parshat Nitzavim, Lo b'shamayim hi. The Torah is not in heaven. The Torah is not in the heavens. It's right down here on earth. But as an added reading and elucidation of that text, Lo b'shamayim hi, the Torah is not in heaven, we learn the teaching of Rabbi Yochanan in Tractate Eruvin, Lo b'shamayim hi, Lo timatzeh b'gasei haruach. You will not find true Torah scholarship by those who think that they're in heaven, towering over everybody else down here on earth. Such a person doesn't really represent Torah, because the measurements of Torah are amatayim v'haitzi arko, amma v'haitzi rachbo, amma v'haitzi komato, 2.5 by 1.5 by 1.5. I believe that it was Aristotle who taught that the one who doesn't understand that he doesn't understand, then he really doesn't understand. The one who doesn't know that he doesn't know, that he really doesn't know. Maybe it sounds more poetic in Hebrew. In certain sources it's quoted like this: Ki mi she'eino yodea, she'eino yodea. Damn it, they know you're there. I mean, if you don't know that you're a half measurement, then you're missing. As the rabbis teach in Tractate Ta'anit, Torah is compared to water. Torah is compared to mayim. Hoi kol tzamei l'chul mayim. Torah is compared to water. Mayim manichim makom gavoa, v'olchim l'makom namuch. Af divrei Torah ein mitkayimim el b'mi sheda'ato shfela. Just as the waters flow downward, leaving the high places and going to the low places, leaving the higher levels and connecting to the lower levels, so too Torah will only be retained by the person who is truly humble. We pray together, may all of Am Yisrael, wherever they may be, may they all be immediately connected to studying and observing Torah, but may they always live with the inner meaning of the instructive dimensions of the Holy Ark.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
What do you learn from your father?
He does a lot of mitzvahs, and he carves a lot of people. I believe that everybody can carve from anything in the world.
Someplace, I don't know.
This happened Hanukkah.
Well, I thought right away.